Hey. I gave her money, I gave her time, I gave her everything in life one heart could find. It doesn't seem to matter and it doesn't seem right, but the will is right, no fucking till I cry alone and don't you judge of my composure, cause I'm bothered every day. And she didn't leave a letter, she just up and ran up.
You just saw the legend Michael Jackson doing. It was so cool, right? Every human in this world is connected to an art form in some way or the other. It's all about believing in it. It's all about realizing it. Life is all about rhythm, isn't it? Everyone has it. You have it. My name is Raka Vee, and I'm a full-time performing artist, musician from India, and a beatboxer from India. I started my artist career with dancing. So my body had a rhythm already, and so it was so much fun for me to bring the rhythm into beats with beatboxing. Also, I finished my engineering, I finished my master's, had a corporate job, but then something pushed me to quit my job and pursue music full-time, I think, and beatboxing had the major part in it. I'm sure every beatboxer who's watching can relate to what I'm saying. Imagine beatboxing was my best friend here and it was like, chill, just go ahead, I'm with you always. And that was the confidence that I had. It consumes you, and the best part is you allow it. No matter how you feel, you're happy, you're sad, or whatever, if you're into beatboxing, you will just do it. You will just do it. India being a country where we have so many languages and we have so many bifurcations and, we are divided by so many things. See, yes, music brings all of us together, but even in music, we have, Hindi, Tamil, you have so many other languages. But this is just like pure organic. It's your mouth, your throat, and you are in a way communicating through your mouth, but you are speaking music. How beautiful is that?
Beatboxing as an art form has given me the freedom of speech.
Talking about the Indian beatbox community, it's a beautiful community who loves to make music, who are all connected through beatboxing as an art form, and we all are, together we are pushing the art form and trying to spread the culture around it. Beatboxing as a thing, it has the power to bring everyone together. And it's an emotion that you're expressing it without any words, but with just sounds, and you are making your own music for your own emotions. Welcome to the world of beatboxing.
3, 2, 1, beatbox!
Beatboxing is an art form. It's currently picking up a lot of heat now, and it's just a very unique art form where you create the sound of music using only a mouth. For example, if I'm doing a kick drum, it would sound like a zip would sound like. So if I put these sounds together, I could do.
जिस अगर जिप अपन बंद करते हैं, वो साउंड मेरे को इतना पसंद आया था, मेरे दोस्त ने माइक पे किया था. मैं बोला था ये साउंड कैसे कर रहे हैं, मैं तो सिर्फ बीट बॉक्स यही करके कर रहा हूँ. फिर बाद में वो जिपर साउंड का मैंने ट्यूटोरियल डाला, तो जिपर साउंड भी घूम फिर के बेसिक पे आया था कि वो लिप्स से ही सक्शन करना है, छोटा सा होल बनाना है, एंड वी हैव टू ब्रीथ इन.
Lots of us as children are like, you know, always messing around with sounds and just different weird stuff. And like the beatboxers are just the ones who keep that childishness. So once I saw Vineet and Likith, I was like, this is the best thing in the world.
I find it to be a very unique talent, and when I first found out about beatboxing, it was like, something very different and something I thought, I could find my passion in.
I developed this as a passion actually. So I have a passion for it. That's how I got into it. And definitely when you do beatboxing, it gives you kind of relief from your stresses. You're in a difficult situation. You want to come out of it. If you do some sounds, it keeps you in good mood. It develops some kind of positive vibes around you, and that makes you positive.
First and foremost, it's fun. It's like a way to almost escape from the normal world and just go into your own space. It's a very creative space.
You have this energy and you have this vibe and mood and you want to, put it in something. Like sometimes you feel like writing the next like Romeo and Juliet, but sometimes you just want to make like it just feels good and free.
Beatboxing is something more like it's like a representation of music and all that. And like once I started like trying to like beatbox the music, and the way I tried doing it was very nice.
In time when we figured out there's beatboxing, and it was a really unique thing to hear someone perform music without any instruments, using only the mouth, and it was almost like alienish, like it looked almost impossible, and it kind of made anyone beatboxing more connected to music in general, which kind of removed their creativity in the art form.
10 years ago thinking, is there anywhere else that we can go with this art form? Have we hit like the peak now? And then 10 years after that we are here now and we're seeing all this crazy stuff happening in that art form. So another thing that keeps me going is the fact that we are constantly expanding with skill, style, and as a scene as well, as friends, just around the world. It's amazing.
Beatbox is life. Yeah. Beatbox is its future. We start to make beatbox since 2004 and never stop, just every day beatboxing, every day grow up. Yeah, it's our work, it's our life, it's our happiness.
I do beatboxing because I love doing it every time. Whenever you go anywhere, you don't get bored of it. Beatboxing is awesome.
टेढ़े मेढ़े से ये रास्ते ऐसे करी शुरुआत है, इसे कहते स्ट्रीट आर्ट है, असर रैप ना फूकम फाक है, गाना दिखाता मैं धीरे धीरे, गाने होते तेरे ढीले ढीले, जिंदगी को आज धीरे धीरे, आवाज में अपनी एक फीले फीले, काटक में कुछ behind never new, काटक में कुछ behind never new, साथ में हेरी है खुद से करता मैं बात थे, सारे है साल पहले ये सपने पाले थे, अक्सर बताते अपने बारे में, ब्रांड ला रहा हम जुड़ा देंगे सपनों के पीछे में कांटों के नीचे में जैसे है पत्ते गुलाब के सपनों के पीछे में कांटों के नीचे में जैसे है पत्ते.
So I definitely consider it an art, because art is when you have XYZ parameters and things, but then you keep inventing and creating upon it, and art is constantly changing.
It definitely takes skill and practice and creativity to harness the ability to beatbox. I believe that beatboxing is not only an art, it's also, of course, around the art there's a culture.
Definitely, there are two ways of looking at it. Some people do this just as a passion. Some people do this for making their living.
Beatboxing can also be a path to healing and to transformation. More than just an art, it can be a practice which one uses to heal themselves or to transform themselves.
I guess it's anything that is coming out of your creative mind and something that you want to share with the world, like a piece, just your creation, which could be a painting, it could be a song that you've produced on the computer, it could be a sculpture. If you beatbox to a high level, then your beatbox is like a song, you know, especially if you structure it like that. So yeah, it's definitely a skill because you have to practice and you have to have the skill to be able to execute the beatbox style, but also for sure it's like a talent as well, 100%.
One, two, three.
I believe that anybody can beatbox. I do believe to a certain extent that some people have a real natural talent for it, like anything. Like everybody can play football, but not everybody is as good as Lionel Messi, even if they should play every day. You know, some people are really naturally talented at it, but at the same time, everybody can do it. Everybody in the world can go, even just once or twice.
With my friend, I teach beatboxing in an apartment, and there's no qualification, there's no age also for beatboxing. Like, an uncle is also beatboxing. He's like 45 years, he's also beatboxing, and a 5-year-old kid is also beatboxing.
The only thing is you need to have the interest, you need to have the passion for it. You need to have dedication and the devotion. That should be there. If you don't have that, if you just look at it as a time pass thing, then I wouldn't recommend you.
It's muscles, it's like gym. The very important feeling, the rhythm. If you firstly create a sound, but not feeling rhythm, it's terrible. You need to feel rhythm.
It's like anybody can get that sounds, because it's all about that. What is the pickup power of man? How he can just learn them.
Each human, the talent has talent. You know, you just need to open this talent. And the most important thing, it's love to your favorite deal or whatever what you want. If you love it, you have a big passion, and in future you think like this will be your work, or I will be happy with this. Just keep going every day and push hard, like go hard. It's very nice.
What makes beatboxing a little more different is that none of the any beatboxers require any instrument. You know, your whole instrument is your voice box. It's your vocal cords, your chest, your stomach, your lips, your tongue. These create your sounds. For example, if I want to do a laser, I can just do. If I want to do a normal beat, I can do.
Like other instruments, you might have trouble carrying them around because they are like different sizes of instrument, like big instruments, small instruments. But here the main instrument is your mouth, and you don't have to worry about carrying it, right? Like, so that's one thing. And the mouth, using the mouth as an instrument produces so many different sounds compared to that one instrument which produces just one sound.
because normal instruments have a roadmap, you know, like there's a Trinity exam of guitar and a Trinity exam of drums and singing and all. Beatboxing is nothing like that. It's a bunch of like basically engineering students, these random XYZ people you'll find on the internet, but we keep pushing the boundaries for each other. There's no way of doing it, and especially in the internet age, it's like if I want to try dubstep and trumpet and Sufi together, I can, because that's the power of my instrument. So I love how like anarchic it can become.
Cry me a river, cry me a rivers.
When you buy a normal instrument, you need to invest a lot of money. But for the beatboxing, it's not like that. You just have a mouth and you just practice and you do it.
Well, basically, beatboxing takes all of the sounds of the world and brings them into the human canvas, and then the human being becomes the instrument, and basically you are playing yourself as opposed to playing an instrument externally. You are internalizing the instruments and playing yourself and imitating the sounds of the world.
Anybody can learn this art form. It's beyond man-made boundaries of language, land, region, religion, culture, caste. You need not come with a baggage of music or dance to learn this art.
You need an instrument. It is like beatboxing. I think after some years, beatboxing will be a language. Even now we speak of that language with a beatboxer. So now it is restricted only to a beatboxer.
Di tom nam tarigita dagata di tom nam tarigita dagata di tom nam tarigita dagata
di tom nam tarigita ta di tom nam tarigita ta di tom nam tarigita.
Konopol is an Indian classical ancient art form of reciting or vocally presenting percussive syllables associated with Karnataka Shastriya Sangeeta Paddhati or Carnatic classical music system. It is an intense language of aesthetics, phonetics and mathematics. Konopol dates back to Vedic period. It is easily 5,000 years old rhythmic system known to us. That's why I call it as mother of all percussive languages, instruments and traditions.
Beatboxing itself originated from what we know now from the United States, and they weren't imitating actual drums, but they were imitating beats from hip-hop music and other sounds around them. So the difference is only that one was an American experience of vocal imitation and the other was an Indian experience, but I think that they're both part of the same evolution.
Definitely, when you know Konopol, you can actually get the basics of beatboxing. They do like that. So that will give you an idea of how to create a beat.
If you beatbox to a high level, it may be easier to learn this, and if you do Konopol to a high level, you may be able to learn beatbox because you're using your mouth instantly, and beatbox is lots of rhythm, like you just said. Reach One is a good example. He always talks about how he speaks music, so instead of learning, he'll learn. You know, and this is very similar to, you know, so I feel like they're very, very close, and maybe one day someone will merge the two. Yeah.
Beatboxing and Konopol can be a deadly combination. Indian beatboxers with the sound backing of Konopol can really help them to elevate themselves to a much higher plane.
तो उसको अपन इंडो वेस्टर्न में करने
Konokol and beatboxing are interrelated because they both belong to vocal percussion category. Both the art forms are undoubtedly interesting, attractive, unique and entertaining in their own ways. Both of them deal with rhythms, grooves, time signatures, music, mathematics, etc. Of course, there are collaborations happening between beatboxers and Konokol artists, and the future is really promising.
The main difficulties that beatboxers face is that it's not into mainstream music as of now. We are not considered as instrumentalists in, corporates or, TV shows or something like, or, a part of bands or something like that. So beatboxing is still in the hip-hop culture, so it needs to be integrated into mainstream music is what I feel.
In a lot of places, there's no respect for beatboxing, okay? Like, they just see it as a form of hobby. But we see it as like a culture.
As one person in the entertainment industry, is that the entertainment industry has become like a pool full of sharks. They're just waiting for fresh, delicious meat. In the same concept, there are already established beatboxers and beatboxers who are getting established now. So it'll always be a little hard on the beatboxer getting established because the established person gets an upper hand or gets more priority in an event unless they have contact.
It took me 6-7 years to become a professional beatboxer, and even though I'm from UK where hip-hop and things like that is way more accepted, it was still a little bit hard because beatbox is still new. This is one thing we have to notice. Beatbox is still so young as an art form. So if you're getting limitations, no matter where you're from, there's always going to be people saying, what is this rubbish, don't do that, do go to maths class and study maths and get a job and this. And even to this day, people tell me, when are you going to get a proper job, And the people literally say that to me, and I'm like, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I'm in a super happy place. But there'll always be, people will always say there's limitations, but the only limitations you have is the limitations you put on yourself, and that is true.
Earning money from beatboxing is a very difficult thing. So your family needs to support you as well. So that's a difficulty, that if your family supports you, then this is a very good thing.
It's too far, ना कोई काम काज करे नजरअंदाज आपातकाल अच्छा काम उसको हो गए साल पहले टैलेंट ला फिर कुत्ते पाल लिप सिंग गानों की छोड़ दे आज पहले बन जा अच्छा तू कलाकार घर के कैसे उठाएगा बार कब माँ बाप को होगा तेरे बिना ऐसा क्यों करता तू रे ऐसा क्यों करता तू रे ऐसा क्यों करता तू रे ऐसा क्यों करता तू रे
मॉम डैड सपोर्ट पे नहीं थे, पूछ रहे थे क्या कर रहा है बीटबॉक्स, मतलब ये क्या होता क्या है, ये आवाजें क्यों निकाल रहा है अपने मुंह से, मतलब ये कुछ भी कर रहा है, स्टडी पे ध्यान दे, पढ़ाई पे ध्यान दे, ये सब मत कर, ये सब कुछ काम का नहीं है.
The scenario has changed. Now anyone with something different, something out of the ordinary will definitely be recognized by the community wherever they go.
Before our parents hey, can you find a real job? And we just, Mom, no, I don't want to go to this job because it's so terrible for us. We are musicians firstly, and we like more inspiring people.
I'm not saying parents are not supportive. Parents are always supportive to their kids, but there are always certain cases where parents don't understand what the person is doing. Now, let's say, for example, if I tell my mom or dad, I'm going to be a dancer and I've been dancing for 5 years, they know what is dancing, they know there are different kinds of dancing, they know there's classical dance, hip-hop dance, even though they don't know in depth. But if you just suddenly come home and say, I want to be a beatboxer, they've never even heard the term before. And I can 100% tell you that each person who started beatboxing in anywhere in the world, for the first 2-3 weeks, they had very weird reaction from the parents. Like, what are you doing? You're removing sounds from your mouth. You're just, blattering and, making some noise from your mouth.
Actually, for a lot of kids who might think differently, it's a way for them to express themselves and a way for them to release anything internally that might be bothering them. So actually, it's a form of therapy. So it's not only a form of creativity and it helps the mind and the neurons fire more quickly because it's an art form that requires thinking on multiple levels with multiple faculties. This is very good for the brain. It's a bit like mathematics, but it's the mathematics of the mouth.
I think parents should encourage them if their sons or daughters are willing to pursue this beatboxing as a career. They shouldn't stop them.
As time passes, as they see your dedication towards it and the fact that you're getting things out of it, like knowledge, you're getting a little fame, you're getting a little recognition, at the same time getting to meet other beatboxers, influencing you to become better, that strikes a chord with the parents saying that my child is doing something positive or constructive with their time. And this is one essence which gets the parents to also encourage the kids, because at the end of the day, parents are happy if the kids are doing something other than studies. And it's fun, at the end of the day, they've given an assurance that they're not doing anything destructive with their collateral time,
వంట రోడి కంట నీరు ఏడ కానరాదు పంట ఉన్న చోట బాన రాదు మనసు రాయి మల్లె బిగుసుకున్న నాడు ఎదుల కలిగే నొప్పి కూడా మనకి తెలిసి రాదు ఆ పుట్టుకే ఒక్క మాయ కాదా చుట్టూ ఉన్నదంతా బంది ఖానా అడగకుండా వచ్చేదానికన్నా అడిగే వచ్చి చావు మేలు కాదా మరణమే మనకి స్వేచ్ఛ కాదా సుఖాలతోని సాగేటి బతుకులు మరోవైపు అవసరం పొట్టకిన్ని మెతుకులు కాళ్ళు వరిగిదాకా చెప్పు లేకుండానే నడకలు వీరికి 4 చక్రాల పైన నడిసే పడకలు నేటి చదువులన్నీ పేరుకేగా చేత పైసలుంటే తేలికేగా పేదవాడిగానే పుడుతు నువ్వు లేని వాడిగానే చివరికి నీ మరణమేగా సావు శరణమేగా నకిలీ మాటలు నకిలీ పాటలు నకిలీ ఆటలు నకిలిగానే ఎన్ని బతుకులు బతుకుతూ నిజాయితీనే లేదు ఏడ చూసినా నిజాన్ని చెప్పలేక నోరు మూసినా
Since 2005, I guess, beatboxing started slowly, but it gradually increased in a lot of teenagers and all, and they started doing some random beats and all, listen to music and mimicking the sounds. Music plays an important part, and beatboxing is an art which can be expressed through outburst of energy.
நான் பாடும் பாட்டோ அதில் பாரம் ஆனால் எனக்கு வேண்டாம் அனுதாபம்
வீரம் கொண்ட மனம் Get away, I'ma drop a bomb. Gates closed, my dogs are wrapped. Money came, but I never had fun. When the mind got tired, I did have some. This man there flirting on the soup, Goddamn, he soaked me in too. Mind blown, I was flying so high like a blah 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 blah. What a douchebag was I? Get away, I'ma drop a bomb.
The musicians, they play an important part in the economical part of our country. No one takes them serious, but music influences us, all of us.
Actually, definitely with beatboxing, one can make a living. Only thing is, as I said, they have to learn other skills also. Like they can learn DJing, they can learn singing, or they can learn some close-up magic. With that, they can become a complete entertainer and then start entertaining people.
Beatbox, this is only the beginning. It's going to get more and more mainstream, and it's going to get more and more traction, and more people are going to be getting different types of jobs and professions out of beatboxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very proud to present to you the finest talents in Hindustani hip-hop. Give it up for one of the greatest beatboxers to ever come out of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my boy, D-Cypher! ये कौन है? ये कौन है? It's beat raw. 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 Oh, 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 oh.
The artists are treated as an artist, but if you're starting from scratch with your events, your payments or your profit will be a little less, but that's a phase, it's a growing curve from there, you're not going to be stagnant.
But I think it's about finding your niche and being really, really good at it so that people are then willing to give you whatever amount of money. Say you're really good at loop station and psytrance stuff. Like if you go to Goa during the season, every promoter is going to be like, I want you, because you're good at this one thing that it's not for a beatbox crowd.
To be able to make a living out of it, one has to be different from others. So when they do sounds, maybe instead of copying each other, if everyone develops some kind of individuality in what they do, definitely they can be different from others.
It's super important to be in the beatbox community and go to the battles and learn from each other and teach other people, but then it's very important to be able to be taken out of that environment and put in a corporate environment or a music festival environment or a nightclub environment or whichever one you want to do the most, or a mix of all three, and then really blow the crowd away there as well.
Just go straight, and firstly you need practice a lot to create some original style for you or for yourself, and write music. The important thing is content. It's most important thing. You just content every day, video every day. Put a lot of video on YouTube, like promote this video and
communicate with people.
Communicate. Speak with your fans. It's important. Really important.
You have to sort of stand out if you want people to book you for their event or you want them to get you for their advert or something. You have to just think about what skills or what you may be able to learn that other people can't learn. And not necessarily the fastest or the most powerful. Even though we're a huge community, on a world scale, we're still very small. So there's still people around the world that don't actually know what beatboxing is. So when you go to those people, you just have to think about what you can do that will make them understand your art form.
In the next 3 or 4 years, maybe, beatboxing might be the next big thing. I see it going in a very good direction because the Indian Beatbox Championship was organized last year, and we also had international judges come down to our country and they judged the competition.
The beatboxing crowd is not that expecting, and it's not that, okay, like in classical music, even if you go, one note is wrong, then people think you messed up. But in beatboxing you can just get on with it, and the crowd supports you a lot. So and since we are a community, so we represent ourselves together, so that's what I like. Like wherever we go, we are like considered as one unit, not like separate entities or as such.
Now it's coming to a phase where there are beatboxers on TV, there are beatboxers on the net, there are live performances where beatboxers collaborate with live bands, and all this has happened with the help of the beatbox bodies. They are the one who are pushing beatboxing not in a business-minded way, but just to spread the culture.
Having clean sounds is fine. Doing all the sounds that are popular in the moment is good, but maintain your originality. If you do not maintain your originality, it's basically like you're not pushing the art forward. Maintaining originality and pushing the art forward and doing new things is what's going to make things evolve, and it's going to make you a better and more original and more authentic beatboxer. Beatbox is about imitation, but it's about imitation and innovation, and you need both things to be a successful beatboxer.
The public, the general public, they always comment on you guys are so like tight as a community. I've never seen anything like this, you know. These guys have been to breakdance battles and this, that and the other, but they come to the beatbox events and they're like blown away by how tight everything is and how competitive it is, but also how friendly it is at the same time. People are battling on stage and just before they're jamming outside together, you know, and I really hope that this continues.
It's not big community, you know, but now it's grow up every day, every year more beatboxers. Yeah, it's like a virus.
You know, spreading the culture, spreading, you know, the whole love and knowledge for it has made people aware that this is not just an impressive art form. You take things lightly, you know. It's gone from that to a very dedicated community just striving to, you know, put the country on the world map regarding beatboxing.
I expected India have a really good skills, and it is.
Yo, this is Shutdown, special for India beatbox community. Sir, big ups everybody. Salut, man. Yeah.
Beatboxing these days is generally a practice that is more common among men. But all over the world, you have female beatboxers who are taking the stage, battling at the same level. I don't think that there's any limitations when it comes to gender and beatbox. Anyone can beatbox.
I would love to see more women in this, and I don't have an answer for why there aren't more women. I think in India it's a scary country to be a woman in, but be a woman on stage, you know, it's just not something you're brought up for, and you can't think about yourself as like this, yeah, hip-hop, badass, you know, that's a really long dream.
It's like one whole community as one, you know. There are like just two girls and the rest of them are all guys. They're just chilling and beatboxing together. And it's just a community thing, you know. We don't really kind of discriminate on those bases. Because once you're a beatboxer, you're in the family, you know. There's no discriminating on, you know, how good or bad you are, or whether you're a guy or a girl, whether you're from the town, whether you're from out of town. Doesn't matter. It's just one whole big happy family.
You know, there are more girls coming into it. And in the scene itself, I get along great with all the guys. It's not a big thing once you're in the scene, but just to get that mental block out of the way that I can do this cool performance thing that is a very masculine thing otherwise, especially because it's in hip-hop. Just that mental block initially it's tough.
Girls just need more support. They need to find more opportunities to be able to compete and more support in their communities for beatboxing.
Beatbox can change people. Each person who made beatbox and he said, beatbox changed my life. Because it's cool hobby. Because you don't need to go to other place, took some instruments. Your instrument is your mouth.
In a way that you always have a little energy to do something, you know? It always gives you energy. Beatboxing never makes you tired. If you do something really cool, something that hypes you up by yourself, you get energized. So in that way, it kind of unlocked a certain part of me personally.
Example दे दो, अगर घर पे कुछ प्रॉब्लम रहेगा तो वो ध्यान में ना रखे तो वो ध्यान हटाने के लिए बीटबॉक्सिंग करता हूँ मैं कभी-कभी, या कुछ दोस्त या गर्लफ्रेंड है नहीं, पर अगर झगड़ा हो गया तो वो ध्यान नहीं देने के लिए बीटबॉक्सिंग करता हूँ मैं, और वैसे मैं एक्सप्रेस करता हूँ.
If you think about it, is a practice that is good for the body, it's good for the mind, and it's good for the soul. right? It's good for the mind because beatboxing allows you to be more creative, use your creative faculties. It's good for the body because the breathing is very good practice. It's like pranayama yoga. And it's good for the soul because it feels good and it allows you to transcend the moment and tap into a higher vibration of life. Beatboxing really is the threshold with which people can go from this reality to another reality.
When you are indulged in doing music, definitely you don't give room for any other things in your life. So you become a purified person in your life.
Happiness is really important for health. And if you make beatbox, you every time happy. Beatbox every day, and beatbox, it's music, it's life. ESH.
உனக்கென வேணும் உன்னை நீ கேட்டுக்கொள்ளு உனக்கென வேணும் உன்னை நீ கேட்டுக்கொள்ளு தம்பி குழப்பங்கள் காண நேரமில்லை என்று சொல்லு கனவுகள் அதுவும் பழித்திடுமோ என் முயற்சிகள் அனைத்தும் பலன் தருமோ உறக்கம் அது தினம் இதம் தருமோ நண்பா நீ கைய தூக்குடா உன் தோளில உன்னை நீயே தட்டிக்கொள்ளுடா மனதின் ஆழத்தை நீயும் பாருடா
People are making a career in US, Australia, UK. It's a different scene. Okay, to make a career with beatboxing in India, it's going to be, it's a ride. Okay, and I believe that it is possible. It is definitely possible.
Turn up.